Hi everybody, FPL Witty here, back for another of my FPL videos. It's good to have you here. If you've seen these videos before, then it's good that you're staying with me. And if it's your first one, then thank you for joining. So the idea is that we get out in the Yorkshire countryside once a week, have a bit of a natter about FPL, chew over some of the things that have happened, look ahead to the next game week as well. So I hope you had a good one. I had a very good one as it turned out in the end, so I was very pleased with that, so I'll touch on that later. But yeah, game week 4, it was quite an eventful one really, wasn't it? All sorts going on. Completely bonkers game at Anfield, wasn't it, eh? Liverpool 9-0. Of course, Diaz got 2, Firmino got 2 and a shed load of assists as well. Top scored for the game week. Don't think many will be on Firmino, will they? But the big story, of course, was the most popular captain of the week, Mo Salah, having a blank in a 9-0 win, not even an assist. So absolutely crazy. I think when you look at his stats, I think he had the second highest expected goal stats, as they call it, for the week. So it's just one of those things really, wasn't it? He missed a couple of very scoreable chances, should have had normally. So just one of those things, I think. Don't beat yourself up about it. I think the fact they won 9-0 tells me that whoever captained Salah made the right decision. It wasn't the right outcome, but it was definitely the right decision. Just one of those things. So the fact he was so highly captained, he's not going to be a massive issue really, is it? The fact that Jesus, the second highest captain, scored even less, sort of cushions the blow a bit as well, doesn't it? But yeah, absolutely amazing. 9-0 and Salah nothing. Of course, Haaland got a hat-trick, so those who deviated from Salah and Jesus and put the armband on Haaland, they're the big winners this week, aren't they? Manchester City looked nailed on for a clean sheet when we found out that Zaha wasn't playing, and then suddenly they're 2-0 down. Crazy, really. So they found a way, didn't they? They won 4-2, and of course Haaland scores a hat-trick, so he's definitely going to be scoring goals. I think anybody who were having thoughts about selling him as we move into a bit of rotation, I think they've had a bit of a reminder there of what he can do. I certainly won't be selling Haaland. I think they double up on the Man City defence, which looked so good early on. I still think that'll be. I still think they're the best defence. I wouldn't be in a rush to lose your Manchester City defenders, but wow, Mr. Haaland, he stole all the headlines this week, didn't he? And of course Harry Kane almost had a hat-trick as well, didn't he? Almost matched him. How often does Harry miss a penalty, eh? Hardly ever. I think I saw somewhere was it about 3 or 4 years? Don't know if that was incorrect, but I certainly read it. So astonishing really. And of course Henderson, who saved it, has got a phenomenal record of saving penalties. If you have a look, has he saved something like 14 out of the last 20, something like that? So if you're on Henderson as a keeper, you've already had 2 penalty saves this season. Amazing. But yeah, Harry Kane, 2 goals, and he would have had a hat-trick, but he missed the penalty. And of course Perisic owners would have had the assist to go with a clean sheet, wouldn't they, as well? So that was a very strange one. What's happened to Son? Completely off it this season, isn't he? I think if you're still holding Son, then you're probably going to have to move on from him now. He seems to be getting subbed off early as well with Richarlison, so not good. Arsenal, of course, they've kept their 100% record going. What a complete howler from Gabriel to concede the lead I'm a Ramsdale owner, so imagine the anguish when Gabriel does that. Costs Ramsdale a clean sheet, and then he has the audacity to go up the other end and score a goal, doesn't he? So I don't think Gabriel will be on my Christmas card list, that's for sure. But Arsenal keep finding a way, don't they? 4 wins out of 4. Certainly contenders at this stage, aren't they? And for a change, Martinelli and Jesus not amongst them. Saka got an assist, but I still think if you're on Saka and not Martinelli, for the 2 million saving, I'd certainly go to Martinelli, personally. What else? Well, Chelsea, Sterling off the mark with a double. Don't think many people will be on Raheem Sterling. But they got the win, didn't they? Against Leicester. A bit of a crisis at Leicester now. They're bottom of the league, aren't they? Without a win. Selling all their best players. Not sure what's going on there. Certainly an FPL avoid. I think if you're still on the 2 Leicester goalkeepers for the cheap price, I'd certainly be finding the $500,000 and moving one of them to Sanchez of Brighton. Definitely got to be the move, I think. Brighton, a surprise package really, aren't they? Doing extremely well. And another win up there in the top 5 or 6. Going great, looking great defensively. So that's good. They beat Leeds, of course. 1.3 million managers moved in Rodrigo at Leeds this week, who blanked. It was always going to be a difficult fixture. I think he will score goals, but a lot of Leeds assets were bought in, weren't they? Aronson, Harrison and Rodrigo. So they didn't find the target immediately. So, yeah, what an eventful week, really, with Mo blanking in a 9-0, Haaland hat-trick and Kane nearly a hat-trick. So how did I do rank-wise? Well, actually I had a very good week. I had 79 points, which it actually halved my rank this week. So I started out at 354, 354k, and I ended it on 167k. So I think it was about a 54% rank rise, and I'm now into the top 2% of teams after just 4 weeks. So I've got to be happy with that. Got a bit of luck along the way, as you invariably need to when you do well. But some big decisions I've made have come off, so I was pleased with that. I was on Trent Alexander-Arnold and Haaland, who were pretty standard, highly owned players amongst engaged managers, so didn't gain too much there. But I think my big pluses for the week really was staying patient with Robertson. He got me 9 points. Yeah, he was still outscored by Diaz in that sort of little duel for the 3rd Liverpool spot, but keeping faith with the Liverpool defence when many jumped off. 26 points between Trent and Robbo this week, which was lovely. I think there were about 400,000 people sold Trent last week ahead of game week 4. This highest scoring defender for the last 4 years, playing Bournemouth. Returned 17 points, so lessons learned for a few there. But yeah, I kept the faith in the double Liverpool defence, so that brought me 26 points. But I think the big one really for me was my one transfer I made was Neto out, who blanked, although he was a bit unlucky. And I brought in Pascal Gross of Brighton, who scored the only goal, man of the match, looked very good. So that worked a treat for me. Gained 10 points on that transfer, and to be honest, that probably made the difference really for me this week. Reece James and Perisic, my other returners, so all in all, very happy with that. Not sure what I'm going to do this week. Could even burn a transfer. I've got 2 frees, but not a lot I want to do with them really. Big at the backs working well enough for me. Got the Liverpool double up, came off this week. Cancelo and James scored a few points early doors. Perisic is a bit of a risk, but he's an exciting player to own, so big at the back's good. I've got Ramsdale could go to Sanchez perhaps for a bit of cash. We'll see. But Haaland, Jesus, Martinelli, Gross, Salah. Not a lot I want to do with that team really. Might possibly make the Robertson to Diaz switch in 2 moves, but it's not an easy move for me. So wow, game week 5. Not got long, straight onto it midweek. Make sure you're aware of that. Get the deadline right on Tuesday. Captaincy is going to be tough, isn't it? Again, the big 3. Jesus has got Aston Villa. Mo's got Newcastle at home. Surely he's due. And then I think if we all knew that Haaland was starting at home to Nottingham Forest, we'd captain him, wouldn't we? But that's the big if. Pep says he won't start 3 in a week. So will he be rested in this one? Or will he play this one and then be rested at the weekend ahead of the Champions League? So that's going to be a really, really big call, whether or not to take that gamble on Haaland as captain. Arguably it's a bigger gamble not captaining him really on current form, isn't it? So we'll see what happens there. So yeah, straight on to game week 5. If you had a bad one, don't stress about it. If you're 35 points behind, remember it's only a point a week, which is nothing. Don't go and make any rash decisions, which I said last week. So there we are. So I want to keep these inside 15 minutes, so short, sharp and sweet. Good luck with game week 5. If you want to keep in touch with my team a bit closer, I write articles for Fantasy Football Geek website. You can find me on Twitter, and I'll be doing these videos once a week, so I'll see you back here next week. So good luck with game week 5. Hope you get some key decisions right, and as they say in Barnsley, I'll see thee.